This is a video tutorial on using the compact array for LBA observing. All LBA observing is done on 3 VNC sessions for the compact array. The BigRock Xbones :1 VNC session, Xbones :2 VNC session, and the CA-CCC1:1 VNC session for correlated control. Basic observing is same as normal compact array observing. The CA Obs program is used for controlling the antenna and the frequencies and so on. You should just be periodically checking that CA Obs is running, antennas are tracking, and no errors. Also want to use Viz to check that the data coming off the antenna looks sensible. There are no, for instance, baselines with 0 amplitudes, and the phases don't look crazy. Obviously for weak sources, there will be no sensible phase information. Assistance will also give you basic error message if there are problems, though of course there are some messages that you can safely ignore. All of the VLBI specific observing is done from the Xbones :2 session. There are 2 LBA DAS control GUIs. Note that because the tied array is all digital and the data comes to the DAS in a digital form, there are actually no samplers, so you can safely ignore the red bar saying no sampler. As usual, check that the IF levels are roughly central. Because the system is going through the tied array, generally these do not move around very much unless you drop the number of antennas in the tied array to a very small number. We also use the C-Disco GUI for running the VLBI recorder. There's a separate screencast on using C-Disco. In summary, you just need to check that the recorder is still recording, the sample statistics look sensible, in this case they're a little bit too high, and that the last file is sometime in the recent past. It should be no more than about a minute or so old. The main monitoring you need to do is check that on a compact right source, the phases are coming together and the variation of the antennas that you are tying together is no more than about 100 degrees. If the variation on a compact source is too much, you'll get decorrelation. The BI should have included regular rephasing commands in the array, in which case you should see that they come back together and you don't need to do anything more. And if they fail to do that or done that not frequently enough, you may have to manually rephase the array. To do that, you simply in CA Obs run the command core pcal and return. However, you should only ever run this on a source that is known to be compact, so there's no extended structure, is relatively bright, and you have enough time when typing the command to actually get a number of integrations for the solution. You really should only ever run this on a source that you know is a good calibrator or recognise compact bright source. If you run it on a source with extended structure, you may make the solution much worse or too weak. The noise will decorrelate the array. If you find that the phases to one antenna, usually on the longer baselines and the higher frequencies, is just wandering off very quickly, so that it is never contributing useful data because of the decorrelation effect, you may need to drop it from the array. You can do this from the CA core GUI on CA-CCC1. You can use, first of all, you type tie in the command window, you'll see the current tied array settings. In this case we can see the first frequency, F1, you're tying the antennas 1 to 5, creating circular polarizations, have a gain of 1.08, similar values for the second frequency. If we had decided we wanted to remove antenna 5 from the array, make it a slightly more compact array, we would type tie add 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Type return, that will remove it from the array. If you reduce the number of antennas to only 1 or 2 antennas, you may find the power level gain to the DAS is too low and need to increase the gain. You would also need to remove antennas. If, for instance, there was an antenna failure, we had to stow one antenna, we then have to remove the corresponding antenna from the tied array using the tie add command. Another problem, that is, you only get the compact array in the 64 MHz mode, so you may find the sampler stats are not ideal. The perfect values should be 32.7, 32.7, 17.3 and 17.3. You can see in this case they're about 0.5% too high. Generally I wouldn't bother correcting from this, but when they get much worse I would. If the nominally 17% value is too high, that means there's too much power going to the system, you need to reduce the gain. The nominally 17.3% value is too low, you need to increase the power, so increase the gain. You can monitor the channel sample statistics either on CDisco, on the RecMon webpage, or an alternative, if you log onto the recorder where the data is coming, you can run a script called rectail.sh. This updates much more quickly. CDisco and RecMon typically can have a 1 to 2 minute latency, so if you do use those, you need to make sure you watch it for quite a while. In this case, I think I need to reduce the gain by about 0.005. So I will go to say core, what the current gain is, and update it by using tie gain by gain, and one gain value for each IF or each DAS. If we're using CDisco, we now have to wait a minute or two to see the effect. But if we use Rectail, pretty much immediately you'll see the change. You can see in this case I've actually overshot. So I need to increase the gain to a value in between. Now just increase it by one more notch and it will be good. Only if you make very small steps in increase, you can see that values needed are not large. Now you can see these values are slightly away from the ideal 17.3, but we don't need to bother correcting it any further. If you need to stow the antenna, stop the schedule in COBS and just type stow. That's all you need to know about monitoring the compact array for VLBI.